Bill Zeltman, America's real estate guru. And I wanted to talk today as we continue our practical tips for realtor series. This one is the one that everybody's afraid of. I don't know why. And I'm going to tell a quick story about it right after I tell you what it is. It's for sale by owners. If you haven't seen my last video, I went through what IICCC is. That is our acronym for the steps we make from identifying that we have the right person on the phone, to introducing ourselves, to clarifying the reason for our call, to finding out what they're committed to having a call to action, which is making an appointment. IICCC. If you learn this, phone tips or in person, you're going to be a successful realtor. But let's talk a little bit about for sale by owners and the fear. Oh, for sale by owners, yeah, I don't mess with them. They're nasty. They're scary. I've heard people say they're scary. Rude. They come at you with a hack knife. Are you calling, what's his name from Silence of the Lambs? Come on. No, they're not scary, but you have to meet them where they are. Too many realtors, when they call a for sale by owner, want to go what I call mano a mano, stand toe to toe with them. What do they say? Oh, well, you know that 99% or 80% of FSBOs end up listing with a realtor. Fact, do you know statistics tell us that it can take up to 12 months longer to sell yourself instead of doing it with a realtor? Did you know that your sale price is going to be 20% on average less than what I could get? And only all facts, all true. What does the for sale by owner do? They put their hand over their ears, they stomp their feet and look like a kid at Toys R Us. It's no good. So what I want you to do is build a relationship with them. Well, how do I do that? Easy, using the IICCC. Also using a system that I have. If you get in touch with me, I'm happy to share these materials with you. They work. And I told you I was going to tell you a quick story. I know I'm going to make it real quick. I had an agent come in about 3-4 weeks ago, and she said, "Can you just model one of these for me?" And I said, "Sure, pick one out someplace near, where you want to have an appointment." Picked up the phone on the first call, got her an appointment. So I said, "Here, try it." On her second call, she set an appointment. We went 2 out of 3 calls, and she walked out of the office inside of 20 minutes with 2 appointments. I'm not telling you that's average or normal or whatever, but I'm telling you that for sale by owners are easy. They want to sell their house. They've raised their hand and say, "We want to sell." And they want to figure out which way to do it. Usually it's an education thing. They don't know what we can do, and they don't know what they don't know. They think they know it all. They don't know. They have a couple of things they don't know, like how to write a contract, so I'll hire a lawyer, but they have no idea what the inspection process, appraisals, mortgage, all that. So anyway, there's a survey issue, all those things. So going back to the IICCC, same thing as I taught you in the last video, identify that you're speaking to the decision maker. Here, I want you to use a little bit of psychology on them. So you're going to say, "Hi, I was calling about your house on Park Place that's for sale." "Yes." "Is it still available?" This is going to excite them, and they think they have a buyer on the phone. Now they're excited. They're not in that, "Oh, it's another realtor calling me." They're excited. You may even throw in, if you whatever, "Can you tell me a little bit about the house? 2 beds, 2 baths, 3 beds, whatever," and get them going. Now you very quickly have to introduce yourself and clarify the reason for your call. Well, here's what you say. Once you kind of get past that, you know that you have the decision maker on the phone. "Are you the one selling the house?" "Yes." "This is Bill Zeltman, Gulf Palm Home Team at Century 21 Integra. And the reason for my call," notice I went from the second I to the first C, clarify, without even taking a breath. It's a run-on sentence. "And the reason that I'm calling is if I were to bring a buyer to you, would you pay me a commission?" I'm not asking for the listing, but 95, 98% of them will say yes. Perfect. Now let's drop the subject and go to the second C. This is really important that you don't stay on that path. Even if they try to keep you on that path, get them off of that and say to them, "Hey, let me ask you, where are you looking to move?" "Oh, why are you looking to move there?" "When were you looking to get there?" Joke a little bit. Talk about the place they're going to go. Build the dream in their head of being moved. Once you've done that and you've got a good rapport with them, say to them, "Listen, could I set up a time to come tour your house? I may or may not have a buyer, but I've got, the average agent works with about 15 buyers at any given time. I work for a company that we have nearly 2,000 agents. What I will do is I'll come look at your house, and if one of my buyers isn't interested, I will pass on all the information about your house at my next meeting. Great. Does Friday or Saturday work better for me to stop by? Power of choice close. And boom, I close them out. So I'm going to end this here because this is how you get the appointment. In our next practical tips training, I'm going to go through the steps to turn them into from an appointment into a listing.